Hello, everybody, and welcome to Adobe Live. And today is the Daily Creative Challenge. We're on day 7 already. I can't believe time is flying by so fast. It's Wednesday. Hello, everybody in the chat. Alana, Jesus, Andrea, nice to meet you, man. It was really great to see your work with Alexis. That was just really good to hang out with you for a little bit. Tim, always a presence in the chat. And Jack, thank you for being here. Today is going to be another day of continuing our challenges, pushing the ideas of profiles. But before we get into the challenge, I just want to set up the stage for what we're doing here in the chat and what am I even doing here? Why am I on the screen? Like, if you're new to this, maybe you might not know what a daily challenge is. So let's hop on over to behance.net/challenge/XD. And this is going to be your hub, your home for everything about this challenge. So if you're looking to push new ideas, push yourself to learn, this is the resource for you. So I would really urge you to chat with the community once you've joined the challenge. That's the first thing. I'm already signed in, so I see this. But then each day you'll receive a challenge, and then you'll be able to iterate and design those with me as your guide. And then you'll be able to chat with the community and watch again and keep watching. I'm here till Friday, so I'll have more challenges until then. And then you're gonna unlock challenges. Every day there's a new challenge. Ahmed, hi, what's up? Marissa Anderson, there's so many people that I'm just always blown away by how many people interact with me outside of this. I get some really, really great messages of inspiration and how people are learning. So thank you for joining me. So if you are new to XD, this is great for you to learn the tips and tricks of XD and show you the possibilities of what you can do with this design tool. That's just really easy to use. So it's very powerful too, on top of that. So I'm gonna show you today's challenge, which is just interactions. So we're gonna be doing some different interactions of exploring states and whatnot. So definitely gonna be learning some really cool stuff there. So if you don't have XD, please download it. It is free for you. So click that button right there and you can get it for free. And once you are part of this daily design challenge and you've started making stuff and you want to share it, this is where you're gonna come. You're gonna click join us and accept our invite to Discord. And once you have your Discord account set up, you're in this amazing resource, which is the community. Over over 1,000 members usually at a time. Really a great way to, like Amer, like a newcomer to XD, already like shining. There's so many really great projects in there, and I'm just really, really blown away. So I'm actually just gonna go on and review some of these designs that have been submitted up front, because I think this is a really, really great way to show the potential of what XD can do by the people that are watching and taking these challenges. Looks like that link didn't work, but you're able to like check out an interactive calendar. This is like work in progress. This is the best place to do that and to put it here. That way you can get feedback from the community. People pushing their designs using the inspiration that I provided, but then like taking it to a whole nother level and putting illustrations in. All of your work has just been so fantastic to see. And this was the onboarding challenge, which I really, really am hoping you see the benefit of having this type of challenge that's progressive. So today's challenge is kind of carrying over from what we did previously. Last week we designed 4 different concepts, and this week we iterated. Yesterday we picked the best one that we liked, we iterated on that, like refreshed the design, and then yesterday we added an onboarding. And today we're gonna be doing something very similar to like a complete project, which is adding like a user profile. But I wanna just take time to appreciate one in particular project that I really, really liked the progression. And this project was just like, it grew so much since I saw it. And it's one of those projects where you see the growth and you see the learning. Amer, great job working on this project here, and everybody that in the community that gave feedback. I just really want to thank you for doing that. So this is like the original version, and this is the iteration. And so that's an important thing, is to make sure to iterate on your designs, because design is never really done. It's all about growing it and getting feedback and making it better. Sometimes you have to like draw the line and it's like, okay, this one's done. But it's really great to see like a lot of the progress happening. And this is a sleep challenge app that we did. So how could you sleep better by challenging friends to sleep with, not sleep with you, but sleep and measure their sleep with goals with you and try to beat them. So I think that's a really novel idea and something that I wish I had, so someone to hold me accountable for my sleep. So yeah, thank you for everyone in the chat. Abdullah, I saw Mohammed is in there. I feel familiar faces and names. Antonio, also Talon was in there, which is just one of the amazing people here that makes this amazing product for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the challenge for today, and we're gonna jump right into it. So this is inspiration. Let's see, this mouse is not really, okay, there you go. So this was the concept that we, that I kind of decided to pick. There was 4, and this was the one that for me stood out. So this is the onboarding experience for that we did yesterday. And then this is the UI for like how the health monitor actually works. Sorry, the air quality monitor. So this is the challenge. So we are going to go ahead and push our designs and create a user profile for this concept. Because at the end of the day, what we want is like a robust project that has not only the core interaction, but like how users interact with the introduction of your company or your brand or product that you're making, and how that story is told in the onboarding. But then how can you customize your preferences using a preference menu, a profile menu, and so we're going to deep dive into that. We're going to be using multiple types of interactions, component states. I'm going to primarily use component states in multiples of them. So that's what we're looking to do today. And the inspiration that I'm using are just kind of like things I saw on Behance. They're just really, really fun ideas of how to approach simplicity in your design, and like the idea of switching a light mode to a dark mode. So maybe we might experiment with that. And just some information on customization and personalization here. So resources for yourself if you want to learn, like, why is this important? Why do I need to learn how to make a user profile that's personalized? And what's the difference between personalized and customized? Because there is quite a difference. Like customized is like changing the language, changing the color. So we're gonna definitely explore differences and nuances between the two. So we are ready to rock, and I am super stoked to kind of show you what I've been thinking. So what I initially realized is that my face is not really relevant in this concept. So I'm going to be just really quickly going to be using a new feature of XD. If you haven't used this yet, the star ratio, we're going to be just making a quick gearbox kind of, like the icon for settings, because I think settings is more appropriate than my face. I don't really need to see my own profile for like something that's not social. And that's some feedback that I got, like, why do you have your picture on a product that you're not social with? So this is the star ratio. So I just click triangle, and then you now have this new feature here. It's like an octagon shape that you can choose, 8 sides, and then you can change the kind of like the depth of this star and how that shape kind of plays out. And then you can toggle these, and this is like your way to get your gearbox, right? And the only thing is, like, once you start editing the shape outside of this function, you can't really do any more to it after it's a path. So just keep that in mind. And then so I know that my gearbox was gonna be like 1.5, and you can get granular with that. And so just really quickly gonna make something here, because like I said, my photo is kind of irrelevant for this concept. I don't need to see my own face. So really quick, make that. And let's see, maybe this is not big enough. It needs to just go like boop. There we go. So that's it. Now I have a gearbox, and that's something that you previously, like, you couldn't make stars. Like, you can easily make stars now by using that feature. So now you can make a 5-point star easily by using star ratio. So if you're like doing rating systems and stuff, like, this is just an easy way to do it. You can round out the corners just like you would expect. So give that a try. It's not a bad tool. It's really cool. I think it's very useful. So like, to just do this, instead of like finding a icon, like, just make it yourself, you know? All right, so that is just something that I wanted to call out as just like a UX thing. So if I take this and just copy it along the way, I don't need my face anymore. All right, so now let's just get going to the user profile. So I would imagine, and I'm not going to prototype how it interacts yet. Tomorrow we are actually doing all prototyping. Just as a hint, this whole experience we're prototyping out, and I'm going to share my whole file with you. So if you want to follow along, you can. So I'm just imagining that it will slide left into over the screen whatever part of the experience you're in. So let's just start rocking with this. I'm just going to actually delete all this content here. And let's get going. So I have some stuff that I prepared for myself, so I'm not just you're not just watching me make buttons and little things. So like I have my arrows. Let's see. I don't have an arrow, so let's do an arrow. Path. It's a quick little arrow, and make it. I'm using for most of my my items. I'm using like a 1 point or 1.5 point. And that's the thing, any line work that you do, I think keeping consistent with it is always gonna be best. Cause you know, if you have a bunch of different widths of lines, it tends to get a little sloppy. So just making sure that your line work is all kind of uniform. And then I'm just gonna do a settings. And it's really great to see like how like something turns to nothing really quickly. And this is like my favorite part of like designing live for y'all is the idea that like there was nothing on this screen and now there's gonna be something. Yeah, thanks, Talon. I really dig the star ratio. I wasn't sure what it was used for, and then I was like, oh yeah, gearboxes and stuff. That's really awesome. So now, and pardon my sniffles, I got a little bit of a cold. I have a 5-year-old, so like, you know, germs are just everywhere in my house. So I got a little sniffle, so I apologize for that. So I'm going to make these cards are kind of like a consistent thing that I've been doing throughout. So I'm going to stick with this card system. I really like cards. I don't know how you feel about cards, but for me, they really separate content in a smart way. And I just appreciate them. So I tend to use cards quite a bit, actually. And yeah, so I'd like to know what you think. Like, do you guys like cards? Yeah, lots of pressure, Amir. Lots of pressure, but you know, it's good pressure. If you're not forcing yourself to get uncomfortable, I think you should start trying, because you would be amazed at what you can do when you're under pressure. And that's like kind of what the whole design field is like. It's just tons of pressure, and it's gonna make you or it's gonna break you, and you have to find out who you are really quickly. But you know, this tool makes it so much easier, because like you could just explore and make things, and it's okay if they suck, and like you just got to make them better over time. That's the whole name of the game here. And so my simple profile is just like my name, and I'd be able to like edit this. So a lot of these I have already like some. So I'm using this Freight Sans as my primary tool, and as my primary font. Sorry, I just really like it for this project. I felt like it hit what I wanted. It did what I want to do as far as visually. It's kind of clean. It's kind of like a Helvetica. So I don't know, I really like it. Freight Sans. It's in Adobe fonts if you go look for it. Okay, my email. I'm actually gonna share my email, so because you can find my email on my website, but this is my email. It's my real email. So if you have questions, email me, or hit me up on Discord, because I'm always there. Password. So you'd be able to update that. I mean, these are very, very like basic things that we kind of know, right? We know we need all that stuff. And making sure that the sizing is good. So that looks good. I'm just gonna group all this. And we haven't done any interactions yet, but that's okay. We're gonna get there. So now I could get this and group it all too, just to make sure that I don't move anything around. And now I'm able to I could do repeat grid, but for this, I'm just gonna keep it separate. No need to mix our features today. But I love repeat grid, but sometimes I don't need it if it's just for something really quick. I only need one more of them. So now I want to break out, in this section is like my air purifiers. Like I have a couple that I know for sure. So there's my profile settings, there's my my air purifiers, because you might need to manage these. And so you don't need to edit them there. You need to edit individual air purifiers. And I'm gonna redeem myself, I hope. And I'm gonna try doing something here with making making this information automated. So let's try this one more time here. So I'm gonna make this like 55 by 55. And then I like using circles, but not necessarily circles. I like squares and turning them into circles because they're just more flexible. All right. So now I have, if I'm looking at my experience over here, I have my master bedroom and I have my family room. So those are two different purifiers in my room, in my house, and I can add more, right? So I'm basically emulating that, but putting it over here. So this one is gonna be my, my filter type. Where is it? You know what, I had something here. So I made a Google Sheet. So it's room type, filter maker, filter image. Room type. Filter maker. And I'm gonna make that about a 14 point to create some separation between these two. Just for like typefaces, you always want to have like a weight difference. If there's just a difference in hierarchy, separating it is really important. And filter status, we really want to know, like this is like just good UX to give people a sense of like the importance. Like filter status, you want to know that like right up front. It's just a really important thing to have people like see up front, I think. So I got this, and I'm just gonna turn this around, make it a little smaller, and this is just gonna be my little caret to expand, and that's gonna like set up my my components. And now what I can do is I can grab, I need to name this image. So what I'm doing is setting up this file so that way you could automate the information inside of it. So this is gonna be, what did I say for my Google Sheet? This is my filter image. Let's do that. Filter image. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take all these elements, and I'm gonna do a repeat grid now, and I'm just gonna do 2 of them. I know it's not, you know, sometimes necessary to do 2 things on a repeat grid, but we're doing it for this for this tool, which is using Google Sheets as a plugin. You want to use repeat grid so that way you can automate your information here. So now I'm on this object. I have it selected. I have my repeat grid selected. I'm going to go over to my plugins. Shift Command P is my shortcut for plugins. You can search for a bunch of really cool stuff, but I am going to use Google Sheets. I'm going to paste my link. Boom. And the thing about your Google Sheets, when you create it, you have to have the headers for the layer names to map them, and then whatever objects you want to fill in those areas, and then have image links that you can reference, and they just kind of populate in. And your file has to be public. It has to be public. It won't work if it's not. So it picks it up. It did not. Let's see. This is, oh, that didn't change the name. Let's try this again. Image, filter. Oh, I see, I changed it wrong. That's rectangle. Okay, I almost didn't do it right again. So these repeat grids, like that. And now I can go to my plugin, paste public link, continue. So it knows and it's seeing what I'm mapping. So I just apply. Let's hope the internet is favorable for me today. No, it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't think it's something with the internet. No, room type, filter maker. Something about it just doesn't like it. So we're gonna leave it placeholder text right now, and that's okay. I'll update it in a minute. So we're gonna now have this. Let's just try it one more time. Paste, continue, image, yes, good. Sometimes it doesn't give me a status, but I think there's something with the internet. It's okay. Oh, look, we got the names and we just didn't get the images in. Sometimes the internet is a little slower in getting those, but it's okay. I can get those images later and drop them in. So for the full effect, that's not ideal, but it's okay. We'll continue. And I'm gonna go ahead and just do that. And I'm gonna ungroup this. So now I could, I don't have 3, I only have 2 filters. So I'm just gonna bring that down. And this is gonna be my button. I have icon, add new filter icon. Same size as this. All right, right there. And then I have one more thing I wanna design, and that's my dark mode. I love dark mode. This is kind of like a dark mode app, right? I've kind of been liking the dark mode lately. And now I have preferences. Okay, and I have language. I only got 2 more minutes, but I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it, I'm telling you. English. I think having language as a choice is very good practice. It's very accessibility minded to know that you can provide a function or an app that has multiple languages, and you can change that, like if you had a drop down. I think it's a really, really good practice to preach. Just very, very important, because you don't want to limit your audience. And so I was thinking, like, what if you had this like dark mode ability, and you had like an on switch that you could use to control the dark mode. I thought that was kind of cool. And allow location, and this can kind of give you location settings. So kind of like, that's kind of like what I was thinking for my items within my profile setting, right? So we had Google Sheets kind of bring in some information, not the image. That's okay. I can get the image later. But what we want to do is we want to do a state, a component state. So I'm gonna, I think one of the things is like being able to drop down both of these is important. So you need to make both of them part of the component. And I'm gonna add a state in here, and it's gonna be new, and it's gonna be expand. And then take this. And this is really quick. Just kind of show the possibilities of what your states can do. I'm working in the expanded state. Yes, I am. You have to make sure you're working in the right state, right? You don't want to work in the default state if you're going to have information go into your other state. So now you have like your let's see. You have your Bitsel, you have your good. Your particle, so let's see, I'm gonna have a bunch of information here, kind of fill in, but yeah, let's just kind of look at what you can do with that when you have an expanded state. So I have this and this. More information will pop in, and I didn't make it in the timeline, but this is like what I wanted this expanded state. I'm gonna go ahead and share this on my Behance, and I'm gonna post it to Discord. So that way you could, and I'll also do the dark mode, so that way you can see how that works to like have a dark mode switch. Didn't get to finish it, but I think you got the idea of what you could do with multiple states. Component states are a really, really great way to have rich interactions with your elements. So I'll post those for you, and you can see what they're built out, like how they're built, and reverse engineer them. So that's all I have for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to stay tuned. We have another guest, and come back tomorrow, and we will recap what we did today and tackle prototyping and really rich interactions through micro interactions across the app. So thank you so much for being here, and see you tomorrow.